Well, if you didn't see the news last week, Twitter unbanned me. Finally, it's been almost a year since somebody false flagged my account. A group of people false flagged my account repeatedly. And Twitter took it seriously. They refused my appeals multiple times, but I just kept appealing over and over and over again until finally justice was done. I'm back. My platform's back. My 5,000 followers can see my posts again. Well, I'm a little shadow banned, so not all of them, but we're trying. And all is right in the world, unless you're an SJW. There's a lot of people so upset in science fiction and in comics and in board gaming that I'm allowed to exist. They literally can't even that I post my memes, I post my work. Their entire intention is to destroy my life and to make it so I can't sell comics, can't make board games, can't enjoy what I love, can't have friends and followers. It's really upsetting. But you know what? We persisted. That's exactly what went on here. And I'll go over the whole situation in just a second. If you're new here, my name is John Delarose. I'm a #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator, and I've got Overmind up on Kickstarter right now. You can help me celebrate my victory and celebrate this wonderful unbanning by backing it today. It's a beautiful comic book. It's about an AI that's gone rogue and is manipulating and brainwashing people via its algorithms, kind of like Twitter does. Yeah. It's a social commentary, my friends. But it's also got beautiful action, beautiful science fiction. It's got world building like you won't believe. You've never seen anything like this. So please check it out. This is by far our best work, and I appreciate the people who got us to 15,000 already. We are crushing it. Thank you, everybody. All right. This is it. Twitter account unsuspends me. Here it is. John Delarose's Twitter account restored. It is. After further review, we have unsuspended your account. Does not appear to be in violation of the Twitter rules. So about a year ago, Twitter, of course, banned me. They claimed it was for hate speech. What happened was somebody linked one of my videos onto Twitter and started talking about how terrible of a person I am, like they are wont to do with these SJWs. They tagged me into the thread, started calling me horrific names. It was abusive, harassment, all the stuff that is actually against Twitter's TOS. And eventually one of these people shouted at me on Twitter and called me a racist, which I am legally not a racist, by the way. We've determined this in court already. So I went back, and as a Hispanic man, I'm very proud about that. I noticed that this fellow was white, and I said, "You're the racist whitey." Now, if you search Twitter, somebody says whitey about every 15 seconds. So there's no way that's considered hate speech by anybody, let alone Twitter. But because of the mass flag reporting, Twitter popped my account. They had me banned, suspended permanently. They claimed, hate speech or whatnot. And I kept appealing, and Twitter kept denying it over and over and over again. They kept saying it's hate speech. It's hate speech. You're not coming back. And I'm just like, what's going on here? It doesn't make any sense. Now, Twitter, if you guys don't know, they don't actually have humans that review this stuff and actually take a look at this stuff. Their review department for the entire millions of people that use Twitter is like a staff of like 7 people or something like that. So it's an algorithm that's looking even at the suspension appeals, and the algorithm just gets back to you. It's nothing like that. There's no human contact. Nobody pays any attention. This is part of the problem with Twitter and their whole algorithm manipulation and all that. That's another story that I kind of covered in Overmind. But so eventually, I just appealed over and over and over again. So once Elon bought the company, I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And finally, it just unsuspended me, and I got this message. So clearly, Twitter has no actual standards. It's just random whether you get suspended or not. That means if you're suspended, you actually have hope. You can keep pressing this appeal button, and eventually, you might be able to get your account back. It's very bizarre. But I did, and so it's great. So here it is. But the fun part about this is the SJWs, they can't leave me alone. There's a bunch of comments down below. First, I guess I'll get to this first. These are all people in science fiction. I'm a member of SIFWA. I would consider taking any notice of this guy beneath me and a waste of time. He's had his 15 minutes. Yeah, well, the SIFWA people are the people who actually mass reported me. And Eva, you're actually spending time on me, making comments about how you wouldn't spend time on me. I love it. Yes, Lucas is a good guy. Seethe and seethe some more. That's what Eva's going to do for sure. Of course, they kept asking how long until he says something reportable again. This is what SJWs do. They sit here. Their hate is so intense. Their bigotry is so intense that they sit around all day just looking for things to report. I mean, they're just like that person in high school who sits there and tells on people because they want you to not have fun because they're not having fun. It's really sad that this is them, and they're adults. These are like 40, 50, 60-year-old people usually. It's disgusting. Unbelievable. Get a job or a hobby. I always tell these people this. Please get a job or a hobby. That's not harassing me. They got a betting pool on whether I get suspended again. Somebody actually posits whether it's an attorney doing this, and they go into these wild conspiracy theories too about how I got unbanned. That's fun. Kat Eldridge, another science fiction author. Now he's a science fiction grandmaster because I labeled my Twitter account that. Isn't that an actual award? Oh my gosh. I am a science fiction grandmaster, Kat. I really am. Here it is. He'll say something that'll violate the rules later. This is Mike Glyer, Hugo Award winner. More on that. It's his brand strategy to say such things. That's including hate speech, I guess. So yes, count on it. No, it's not. I'm just trying to have fun, Mike. Leave me alone. Jesus. Now, Mike is the purveyor of this File 770 site where I got this from. He, of course, just makes articles to rile these people up to harass me. It's intentional. And it's the only way he gets clicks on his site. It's really funny. Nobody cares about science fiction unless it's about me. There's more and more. Oh my gosh, they just keep going on this. They blame Elon. They say it's a Kickstarter grift to get me unbanned from Twitter. I don't know how that happened. So this is interesting. So they're talking about the fact that I'm deleting tweets now. I'm deleting my past tweet history, and the reason I'm doing that is because I don't want these people to come and mass report me again. Unfortunately, like every platform I go on, these people sit here and stalk me all day long. And they will sit there and mass report me. They over and over, no matter what I post. So I am actually purging all my past Twitter history just because of that fact. But they make some conspiracy theory about it again. And here it is. I find it unlikely that JDA would want to delete all the past things he's tweeted to mock and harass people. I wonder if that reflects on a settlement he made with a different decision-making arm of the company that Twitter's safety. If you get my drift. They think there's some legal aspect to this. No, I did not hire an attorney to get my Twitter account back. I don't care about Twitter that much. I just hit the appeal button and then they got it. But I am deleting my past Twitter history just because I don't want to deal with these people getting my account suspended. I'm just trying to sell my books, my friends. That's all I'm doing. All right, they of course took to Twitter about this. Here's Tiffany Lee, who's a influencer in the board game community, a transgender person. Who spends all day trying to harass both me and Sarah Shaw. Sarah Shaw is a board game reviewer. It's very bizarre, Tiffany's obsession with myself and Sarah. All right. PSA, this is a troll-tastic account got reinstated recently, so watch your 6 for Channy tourists in your mentions, please. My God, they're obsessed. If there's ever an account worth nuking from your orbit, such that absolutely nothing of value will be lost, it's this guy and anyone who gives him access, eyeballs, or oxygen. Keep this in mind. These SJWs are actually monitoring who likes my tweets, who interacts with me, who follows me, because they're so scared of my opinions. They're so scared of my existence. They're so scared of my great comic books that they really want to try to just get me destroyed. It's very, very creepy. This is why I get reported all the time. If you keep him around, I have to assume you're complicit and or that his bad faith is useful to you in some way, which is just you waving your own big red flag. So yes, if you like me, they literally can't even. It's really sad. This is like high school antics. It's just like they can't handle that somebody has fun. This is Paul Weimer. He's a Barnes and Noble reviewer of science fiction books. He contributes nothing to society, and he has been harassing me since about 2018. But he's scared to say my name. He thinks if he doesn't say my name, like he'll magically not, be harassing me for some reason. This is kind of one of their tactics they use. It's like I'm literally Voldemort, he who must not be named. And here he goes. The Twitter account of the individual named in the link has been restored. Caveat lector. And this gets a bunch of SJWs talking. Here's Patrick S. Tomlinson, one of the most crazy people on the internet, who's said some really nasty things and gotten suspended a lot of times himself. I'm surprised he's still got an account, but oh well. That won't last, child. There you go. There's him. I was just talking about this monster last week. I don't know who this is. He's a him game designer. Ooh, and I'm a monster because I say things he doesn't like on Twitter.com. Harry Turtledove, a old school writer who I've actually met. We've actually met in person. This is really funny. I actually talked about this on Twitter. He's shaken my hand. We've talked. We've had a good conversation. By all accounts, he liked me in person. But people on the internet go crazy, and Harry Turtledove's one of those also. I was going to block him preemptively, but In Search of his name shows no account yet. So he's so scared of me that he has to spend time searching me on the internet to try to block me preemptively, rather than, I guess, get writing done or things like that. I just can't fathom acting like that as a professional. It's crazy to me. But this is what they do. They aren't professionals. They're just a bunch of schoolyard bullies, and they're the people who were actually bullied in high school. The problem with these folk is they were the people bullied back then, and they are trying to, as adults, cope with that experience that they had because they were a bunch of nerds that nobody respected or paid attention to back in high school. They were the people like that I used to bully in high school. I'd give Harry a swirly, if this was kind of the attitude that he had back in high school. So when normal people exist in the space of science fiction or comic books or board games at this point, they try to harass those normal people out because they remember those experiences back in the day. The thing is, they're bad at it because they're a bunch of just twerpy nerds. It's like these guys could never actually impact my life, and they know it, so they just sit there and seethe on the internet. Oh, well, I'm winning. I'm growing. This YouTube's just crushing it, which I appreciate you guys for watching. Twitter's, I'm getting up to 6,000 followers. I lost a few on the exchange here. I think Twitter removed a bunch of accounts while I was out for the last year. But everything is growing. Overmind has my best release ever, despite the fact that they got me banned from Indiegogo. People are coming to Kickstarter. They don't care about the platform. They didn't do anything that harmed me by removing me from that platform. They can't win, and so they're just going to keep pushing. They're going to keep doubling down. This is what SJWs do. But man, I'm going to keep having a good time, and I'm going to do it with you guys because you are awesome, and I appreciate your support. I appreciate the fun we're having, and that's it. Have fun with me. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll be back soon.